Hello and welcome to the Coach's Corner. My name is Vincentis and this week I'm with football manager Nick Johnstone. Jono, simply, how good was it to get that first win?
It was terrific. Like the amount of work that the guys put in leading up to that, and even starting in November. We all put work in at footy clubs, but just they really understood the concept of what we're trying to teach these kids, and it really came off on the weekend. It was great. Last weekend it was great to see. Just wonderful. Just reward, but that's finished. That was a fortnight ago. That's ancient history.
Exactly, and you can't let the guys get too carried away. How do you get those players just back in focus? If they haven't had a win all year, how do you just level their heads and make sure they don't get too carried away?
By making sure that we continually work on the things with them that we have to during the course of the week, sending them to the extra weight sessions to make sure that we catch up with the AFL sides, and just continually pushing them, because a season is over 26 weeks, it's not over one.
Absolutely, and now we've got our winning side here against the Northern Blues. Who do you think stood out for you in that game-winning performance?
I thought Mick did a really good job down back, intercepted well and really controlled what was going on down there. He'll get his kicking right, and he'll be really good. Sadi was terrific again down back. He just gives us really good drive, and plus he also chops his opponent, so which we're going to need this week because they run a lot of rotations, Casey through the forward line. Tomo wasn't bad for a couple of quarters. Dan once again, like he's an evergreen, going really well, and Coops played really well too. We got a lot out of Coops, and plus Big Leck, magnificent.
He had 13 contested possessions, 3 goals, and was our player of the week, and also had an interview with Mark Fine from SCM, which you can check out on our Facebook page and website. Now, we've also got some players here who are potential inclusions. What can you tell us about some of these guys who are pushing for selection?
Well, Tommy Allard's gone back to his... went back to the twos, has done some reasonably good things. He could be a chance of coming back in. Bordy unfortunately had a wedding. Whether he comes back into the ones will be decided tonight at selection. Phelps is now back from injury, so we're really looking to get a bigger body into that inside midfield mix, which will give us a lot of drive. Joshy's been playing well down the twos. Liam's been playing well down in the forward line in the twos as well, so we want to see him back, and Jai's really been giving us something down back in the twos as well. So the development boys, they're looking to have a win this week, because they've been putting 2 quarters, 3 quarters, 3.5 quarters together. You know, they're just going to go out and give it a real big 4-quarter effort this week. So any of those guys are an opportunity of coming in, but as you know, it's hard to change a winning formula and a winning side.
Yep, and we're up against Casey this week, who played Northern also last week, because we're coming off the bye. When you have a bye, how do you manage the training, and what structures do you put in place to make sure that they still get the right amount of fitness in for when they don't have a game?
You try and train the extra night to make up for the game, and you just got to keep on riding them. And what it actually is, it's training at 100% and being flat out and trying to match simulate every training session as much as you can to make sure you've got clean hands, quick hands, your delivery's right, good pinpoint kicking. They're all the things we're looking for from the guys, and Pete just continually drives that every training session.
And it'll be a tough match against Casey. Who do you see as their potential stars, or how we'll be looking to shut those guys down?
Jesse Hogan, not playing, fantastic. How good's that? But look, they've got some tools too. Gawn, if Gawn comes back, who was rested last week as part of the senior situation. Fitzpatrick injured himself. We don't know whether he'll come up or not. That could make a big difference. But you know, Mitchie came back into their inside mix. He made a big difference. Jordy McKenzie, the tackling machine. Jimmy Tooper's had 15 tackles too. So they've obviously, Rizzy's given him a bit of a rev up as to what he has to do, and so therefore they actually clocked in at 126 tackles last week. Now that either means that they've all been ferociously fierce at the football, or they're second to the football. So we've got to find out. Hopefully it's going to be. They're very similar to us. Or even though they've won 3 out of their 6. But the funny thing is, they've lost all 3 games at home and they've won all 3 away. So they're playing away on the Sunday. We want to make sure that we try and inflict their first loss on that fantastic Sunday, where we're having the luncheon, the belated Mother's Day luncheon, I think, which is great for all those people that have mothers.
Absolutely, I think most people have mothers. Also, that match is on Sunday at 2 o'clock here at Piranha Park. The development game's at 11. Jono, thanks again.